It's that time of the year again. A new official tier list has been released for patch 1.3.1. Dark Ermac, a dev and just general figurehead for the competitive scene, decided he would gather a whole bunch of data from opinions to results to character head-to-heads and create the most accurate tier list possible. He actually ended up making two: the new official tier list that was more focused around the top players' opinions, and a second one that took opinions from the entire community. However, I'll only be looking at the official one just because that's the one that everyone's gonna see on the wiki. Today I'll be comparing the tier list to the previous one just to see how much the characters have changed, whether it's from the buffs, nerfs, or just meta evolving. I'll be telling you why they fell off or got really good, because it's good to know why these changes happened. I'll also be throwing my opinion in there to see how accurate the tier list is, just so that you guys can confidently follow this list or not. One last thing before we start, the list has like pluses and minuses, like A+, B-, whatever, and I'm just gonna ignore that because it's dumb and it looks dumb. We'll just start with D and work our way up to S. Alright, let's get started. Number 47 and the worst in the game is Kirby, falling 3 spots. This is not surprising at all. He's really been bad for a long time at this point. He lacks good neutral options, he has a loaded decent combo game, and his kill power is super underwhelming. He's just been bad through and through, and we've known about this last patch. The only reason he fell a couple spots is just because other characters got better than him. Also, the meta is dominated by sword characters, so Kirby just does not belong. Number 46 is Tails, who is in the exact same spot as before. Again, not surprising, he's underwhelming in the exact same way Kirby is. He just doesn't stack up to his competition. However, I will say he has a much more potential than Kirby does. He's got some pretty good tech and combos that are really unexplored. We just never really get to see Tails players play. So I have hope, but until then, he's gonna stay where he is. Number 45 is Ganon, moving up 3 spots. Here at the bottom, it's looking like nothing really changed. Ganon is really strong and he can easily win with that alone. But put him against the best of the best and he becomes incredibly exploitable. Also, Ganon is the only heavy with throws that aren't actually that good for his combo game. He's just not that good for how exploitable he is. But even if Ganon's bad, his strength makes him slightly better than worse in the game. Number 44 is Ness, who's falling quite a bit by 11 spots. Even though he hasn't been changed in the game, his meta sure has. Ness was looked at really highly when Mark came around out of nowhere, showing us just how good this character could be. Everyone was impressed, and his place reflected on that in the previous patch. But as people started to see more and more flaws and his inconsistency, people started to see maybe that he wasn't as good as we once thought. Then Mark dropped him and picked up better characters, and that was a nail in the coffin. I still think he could be a little bit better than this, but I'm not arguing. Number 43 is Bandana D, dropping 7 spots. And honestly, nobody cares. He's so unexplored that no one can confidently say anything. Even the people that try to do something with him don't really make an impression. I think it's obvious that he's got some stuff, but since nobody wants to touch him, he's just always gonna hover in this low tier range. Number 42 is Puff, going up a single spot. She's got a lot of stuff you'd want in a good character, like a good recovery, combo game, and a broken gimmick move. She's just really light and struggles to get in a lot of the time, especially in a swordy meta. In my opinion, the biggest thing holding her back is the lack of rollback. If you could make her consistent, I think we'd see an increase. But for now, this is fine. Number 41 is Pit, dropping by 2 spots. Yeah, after the nerf, nobody has really done anything impressive with the character. However, I am kind of surprised that he fell, especially since people have started looking into his neutral and started realizing he's got a few stuff. Bacon even took a set off Solus in recent memory, so that's pretty crazy. Regardless, he's bad, please buff. Number 40 is Yoshi, falling 5 spots. A little mean to me, but yeah, still not too good. At first I think people were coping, still thinking Yoshi was solid after the original nerfs, but as more and more people started playing him, we realized that he's just decent. He lacks the kill power and range he needs to be truly a threat. I still think he's good, but yeah, just in general underwhelming. Number 39 and the last in D tier is DK, absolutely plummeting down 29 spots. He used to be the Kazuya of this game. He was stupid easy to play and had some gimmicks that made him the most consistent character kill power wise. After his nerf, He lost so much of that consistency and kill power that he just became a generic heavy. Still usable, but obviously a shell of his former self, and I'm not complaining. First in C tier, we have number 38, Wario, dropping 7 spots. Honestly, he was never very good, but his combo game was always pretty solid, and WAF gave him a gimmick that let him be okay. But after the universal grab changes, Wario can hardly start his combo game to abuse that stuff. He's just bad with the broken gimmick. Pretty sad. Number 37 is Bomberman, dropping 7 spots. There has only been one notable Bomberman player who plays on and off, and right now he's not playing at all. He's obviously pretty good, but has no representation, so he's just gonna be in this weird spot till someone changes that. Just know he's good, just underplayed. Number 36 is Goku, rising 5 spots. There are quite a bit of Gokus out there. Starboy, AO, and Flavian sometimes. His meta has been pushed and is still being pushed. He still has all the flaws like recovery, but some things like his combo game and neutral have been pushed pretty far. I could honestly see him going up in the future, but for now this spot's fine. The final character in C tier, number 35, is Bowser, dropping an entire 15 spots. Honestly, I think people are hopping on the heavies are bad bandwagon, and I don't really approve of it. Yeah, Bowser kind of gets washed in some matchups, but his potential as a counter pick character is insane. So long as he's not being camped out, Bowser can win interactions, especially in an online environment. All he needs is 2 to 3 grabs and he's probably getting a kill. Plus his up B got buffed, which is huge for getting people off of him. In my opinion, Bowser's underrated. First in B tier is Lucario at number 34, going up 6 spots. Lucario's really hard to rank due to his aura. At one point, he's easily the worst in the game, then he builds aura and he becomes one of the best. It really comes down to how good the person wielding him is. However, I agree his peaks are better than we originally gave him, so he deserved the bump. Number 33 is Chibi, going up 9 spots. Chibi is super one note and it stops him from being really high. But people like Pika Player definitely showed that Chibi still has some stuff. Very decent character that I don't have much to say about, but this is a fine spot. Number 32 is Sandbag, who rose 13 spots. Sandbag's meta basically came out of nowhere with a whole bunch of people picking him up and discovering tech and combo routes that are quite frankly broken. If DK used to be the Kazuya of this game, Sandbag has now taken that spot. Honestly, this is still a pretty conservative spot. I can easily see him being 10 plus spots higher than this. We just haven't seen the results to back it up yet. Number 31 is Luigi, who went down 6 spots. Not too surprising. Rage stopped playing the game like that and the meta revolves around sword characters now. Luigi hasn't changed that much, but everyone around him sure has, and it just makes him slightly worse. Still a strong character, just nobody really plays him right now. Number 30 is Naruto, oddly dropping 11 spots. Odd because I'd say nothing has really changed about him, like at all. No nerfs, meta doesn't extremely affect him or anything. I think this change is because he was overrated originally. He didn't have much representation even then, and even though he feels like he's really good, it's probably best not to rank a character mostly on his potential. He could definitely get his spot back if someone picked him up though. Number 29 is Pika, who ended up dropping 14 spots. His spot was definitely carried by J-Mac's amazing performances with him. Even at the time, people didn't think Pika was all that, but his results were just something you could not ignore. But as soon as Pikachu got nerfed, J-Mac dropped him, and he's looked like a character who has everything, but is way too hard to be consistent with to be ranked much higher. Number 28 is Zelda, going down only 5 spots. Not a big deal, pretty sure it's just because other characters got better. But at the time, Zelda was pretty high up there as a top player. But as time went on, people started to see how bad her neutral really was. If you don't run into up smash stupidly, it's not that good. Her punish is still broken though. Number 27 is Pichu, and he actually moved up 5 spots. Another character who's just super unexplored, which seems to be the trend down here. Anyway, Pichu is small, fast, and could easily 0 to death in a lot of situations. I wouldn't be surprised if he was much higher, but we just haven't seen anyone but Hyper pull it off, and even he is a dual main. Maybe one day though. Number 26 is Mega Man, moving up 3 spots. He got his new tech, which gave him many more options than you could imagine, and he's really solid now. However, even with that buff, his only rep is Piano, who places well, but hasn't really placed differently since his buffs. Thus, he remains in a similar spot till we see that proof. Number 25 is Peach, who fell 13 whole spots. Easy answer why is sortie meta. She can't compete the way she used to because she struggles to get in. Also, she was kind of overrated, I'm not gonna lie. Don't get me wrong, she's strong, but she's one of those characters who gets comboed and dies really early. She's fine here though, just not that good, not that bad. Number 24 is Walu, who surprisingly rose 3 spots. For some reason, I remember him being overrated, but I guess not. He's got really good zoning and has a good combo game, and Piranha Plant is so good at controlling neutral. The only issue is that lack of consistent killing, but I do think he's got a lot of setups that are yet to be explored. He could definitely get better in the future. Number 23 is Luffy, jumping only 3 spots. I'm just surprised because I feel like he's been developed so much, especially with his wobble. His combo game's amazing, killing's no problem, cheese is amazing. Maybe people think his disadvantage is bad, but I'm not too sure. He could definitely jump a couple spots in my opinion. He's even got a top player. Last in B tier and number 22 is Mario, falling 5 spots. Again, like Peach, we're in a sortie meta. Mario has everything you could ask for: kill power, combos, consistency, recovery. If they end up nerfing all these sword characters, Mario could easily be a top 10, top 15 level threat. But for now, good luck with the Ichis and Soras. Starting the A tier, number 21 is Marth, making a jump of 16 spots. He was terrible. It wasn't uncommon to see him not killing at 200%. But now he's much better, and having a sword is a big boon right now. He still kind of suffers from that inconsistency, but at his peaks, he could easily be a top 10 character. Number 20 is Sonic, who went down 2 spots. Yeah, I'd say there's no difference at all. He's like the pinnacle of how good a character should be. Strong in combo game and neutral, but has an obvious recovery and kill power weakness that isn't character ruining. I really like his design. Even though he's got some cheese, he's pretty balanced. Number 19 is Falco, dropping all the way from number 1. Who would have thought one nerf could change a character that much? He now has one of the most gimpable recoveries due to that jump nerf, which is awful since he's stupidly comboable. Also, that nerf makes many of his confirmed stricter and combo less light. General platform movement is more restricted since he can't full hop the top plat like he used to. But even after all that, he's still a neutral god. His combo game's still amazing, having some of the most mix-ups in the game. And honestly, his kill power is pretty underrated. He just struggles to live due to that garbage recovery. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Number 18 is Gamerwatch, who jumped 10 spots randomly. Truly don't understand where this came from. Yeah, Briam and Extro show he's a good character, but like, nah. Bit high for me. He still dies super easily. Disjoint's messing him up hard. Put him closer to Pichu or something, and then we'll be fine. Number 17 is Black Mage, jumping a huge 17 spots. However, I think the character is still underrated even at spot 17. Mark showed so many of his combo setups, gimps, cheese, you name it. If Mark was playing in NA tournaments, Black Mage would easily be top 10, if not higher. Number 16 is Ryu, dropping 11 spots. First of all, we really let Ryu be number 5 in the game? That's crazy. He wasn't. His kill potential was DK level for sure, but he really only had that. His neutral was subpar, and honestly, he just seemed like a worse Falcon. Anyway, he lost a little combo ability on his up throw, and iDoge dropped SSF2, so Ryu went bye-bye. Number 15 is MK, falling 12 spots, all the way from 3rd in the game. He got nerfed hard, and then he was buffed back to usability. Everyone thought he was still bad, but JMac came along and proved this character was a gimping monster with some crazy potential to take stocks pretty early. I'm pretty confident in this placing. He's still as dangerous as he used to be, but he just lost some points in range and recovery post-patch. The last character in the A tier, number 14, is Samus, jumping 10 spots. Not strong opinions on Samus. Her charge shot got buffed for whatever reason, and there's a lot of potential for her to be this high. But I cannot help but feel like this placing is not warranted until we see somebody use her. That's what they did for characters like Pichu and Naruto, so this feels a little bit off. Again, she's got the potential, but we have not seen it at all. To start the S tier, number 13 is Pac, rising 3 spots. Nobody plays him anymore, but back in the day when Pac was everywhere, We know the threat of this guy. He's in the spot for pure legacy, it feels. And I won't disagree, nor do I want to see anybody pick up this monster again, so let's just keep him here and not think about him ever again. Number 12 is Sheik, falling 10 spots from being second in the game. She lost a lot of players after her short hop change, but eventually people started picking her up again. No longer is she a Fox clone and is so much more focused on spacing than rushdown. She still has that broken punish game she used to, but she just can't rush in like she used to. I think she's really good and easily a tournament level threat. Number 11 is Falcon, remaining completely the same. Astral makes his character look like the best character in the game. Falcon's potential is insane when you're playing well. However, when you aren't playing so well, he's got a lot of flaws, making him pretty hard to rank. He simultaneously wins and loses every matchup, making him a threat to everyone in the cast. You just gotta play well. And since playing well isn't the hardest thing to do, this high placing is well deserved. Number 10 is Simon, jumping 11 spots. I honestly can't say I'm familiar enough to talk about this. I know he's viewed positively in the Latin American scene, but to this day I haven't seen anything. All I've heard is play Mark and you'll understand. You know, this list has made me realize that Mark really does carry our opinions, huh? I still think this is overrated. Number 9 is Isaac, staying in the exact same spot. He's solid in every area of the game and has that rare power of being so annoying that your opponent doesn't want to fight you. From this point on, these characters are just too good and don't really have weaknesses big enough to balance them out. Number 8 is Rayman with the biggest jump of 30 spots. Went from a low tier to a top tier immediately. I wish I knew if he got buffed or something. I don't remember. I just know Ender started doing really well and told everyone he was broken. I still don't see it. Maybe top 15, but I'm told I'm crazy about it. I see it and I've played against it and I don't know. I'll take your words for it since it's almost unanimously agreed upon that Rayman is crazy at this point. At the very least, he can definitely hold his own against everybody in the cast. Number 7 is ZSS, jumping 1 spot. ZSS was good, but not really proved to be that good, so I was pretty sure she'd be moved down. Then Extro came out of nowhere and started taking names and eventually tournaments off of everyone. Honestly, ZSS has no weaknesses, and hot take, I think she's potentially number 1 in the game. Probably number 2 though, since the actual number 1 is broken. But yeah, I have such a high opinion on this character and think she quite literally is broken. Number 6 is Sora, going up 14 spots. He was originally one of those characters that seemed a bit too hard to be consistent with to actually be this high. Then Vapor became one of the most improved players after switching and taking some names. Then Sora got a dash attack buff, which made his neutral even easier. Sora is a huge threat, and when played at peak, he easily deserves this high placing. Still think he could be moved down 2 or 3 spots just for that lack of consistency, but yeah, at peak he's definitely this high. Number 5 is Ichigo, who jumped 9 spots, and I'm gonna say it, Ichigo is kinda overrated. Yes, he's the easiest character in the game and also is insanely consistent, and his down air wins the game. But let's be real, he's combo food. His recovery got much worse after people started to figure it out. Ichi also has to often settle for untrue juggles or just has to push pressure since he really only gets 3 to 4 piece combos. There's like a ton more stuff that makes him bad compared to the other top tiers. I'm not gonna lie, there's just a part of me that doesn't want to admit Godly is that good. Not saying Ichigo's trash or anything, I'd just move him down like 5 spots or something. We just need to start holding our Ichi Ls better. Number 4 is Fox, going up 2 spots. He's much like Falcon in the way that he loses to and beats every character. Fox just has so much more consistency in his offense and neutral. I'm being for real, 1 touch and Fox can die. 1 read and he really is dead. It really doesn't matter how good you are, a couple mistakes and it's over. If he did not have this weakness, he would easily be number 1 in the game without a doubt in my mind. But yeah, that recovery problem ruins his consistency. Number 3 in the game is Lloyd, jumping 10 spots. He was underrated a lot before this, so this jump makes sense. Man, I don't have much to say. He's what Ichi wants to be. Consistent, easy kills, easy edge guarding, projectile carries neutral, and even his weak point, his recovery, is salvaged by the fact that side B can't be touched. Yeah, nothing bad to say. In my opinion, he's number 2. However, our number 2 is Crystal, who jumped 2 spots. Only flaw is that she's gimpable, but her punish, I would not be afraid to say, is the best in the game. Having laser to finish any combo is insanely broken. Laser also edge guards like almost no other character, and the percent she kills at if she lands any of her sweet spots with her staff is just not real. Only flaw is that she's gimpable, otherwise she could be number 2, number 3, who knows. She's broken, but you know, at this point, who cares? Last but not least, in first place is Link, actually going up by 6 spots. This is by far the correct opinion. He gets consistent kills too early, he's very safe on shield, bomb arrow is broken. Thank God he's slow, or he'd be like Steve or Bayo levels of broken. I also want to note for fun that every broken character usually has 1 rep, and people claim, oh, you could just pick up this character and get free wins. Usually that does not happen, except for with Link. 2 people have done it and gotten results. This character is too easy to be this busted. I don't know, bottom 3, kinda bad. And that's everyone. Overall, it's a good list. Actually, I'm gonna rephrase that. It's the correct list. It's pretty safe with its opinions, and everything is at least in the ballpark of where they should be, and that's exactly what a community tier list should be. Give the general place for all the characters so that new players can understand generally how good each character is according to the community. No outrageous decisions like me putting the SSF2 or something. But yeah, this was pretty fun to make and see how much characters have changed over patches. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and peace out.